Welcome everybody to a beginner's video for Dyson Sphere Program. It is a wonderful game with a significant learning curve depending on how you approach this. I'm a busy guy. I don't have time or a lot of time to play games, so I was afraid to get into this game, to be completely honest, but once I did, guys, this is just an amazing game, and it has a good tutorial, and there's a lot of videos, hopefully including this one, to help you. Now the purpose of this video is not a step-by-step guide on how to build anything. It's just to show you an overview what it means to build, in this case, what I consider to be the first milestone of the game, which is the blue cubes. So how do you get there? That's what I'm going to show you. I'm also going to tell you about the basics of the game, but it's not going to be a step-by-step tutorial, okay? If you want something like that, you can check the other video I did, or there's plenty of them on YouTube as well, and you can then see a step-by-step how to build anything in this game. But this video is just to give you an overview. If you get into this game, what can you expect it to look like and what you're expected to do, and the key milestones. So I'll show you a snapshot of the gameplay between and during each of these milestones. Okay, hope it makes sense. So first milestone is the blue cubes, or blue science, or blue matrix, or it has a lot of names. Let's take a look. Behold, my initial starting factory kind of thing. All of this that you can see here on your screen had one purpose: build these blue matrix cubes, and also build the matrix lab. How can I was trying to here you go. I was trying to rotate the camera. Here you go. So on the right hand side, you see these are the blue cubes, and everything you see here, well, not 100% everything, but 95% of the stuff you see here is just to produce blue cubes. And from these blue cubes, they go then to the left hand side, where they are used for research. I'm almost finishing a research. 3, 2, 1. What do we have? Red cubes! And now I will need to build another factory, or a set of factories and things, to then build the red cubes. But that's for the... Oh, sorry. I just had dinner. Probably not the best time to record videos after you fill up your stomach, but I'll try to behave, guys. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this is the goal of the game. And what do you mean by goal of the game, Tipa Misto? Well, the goal of this game, if you go into the tech tree, you click the mission completed window, I'm going to call this a window, you see that for you to complete this game, you need to have researched 4,000 cubes, white cubes I should say. And what do you need to do? As you can see there in the tooltip, for you to be able to research 4,000 white cubes, you need to research 4,000 of all the other stuff. But you cannot immediately jump from the beginning to the end. You need to research a bunch of technologies that then unlock a bunch of buildings, I should say, or machines that, or materials even, that allow you then to build the other cubes. For example, the blue cube, which is the purpose of today's episode, which I'll show you a bit more detail after this bit, apologies, requires 10 magnetic coils and 10 circuit boards. So what I've done is create a factory. Let me get out of the planet view mode. Create a factory that produces circuit boards and magnetic coils. Are they magnetic coils? Yes. Right. I also have other stuff because I know I'm going to need it. So I already built small factories to create stone, glass, steel, Tesla coils, and sorters and belts. And why is that? I'm going to fly. If you're just starting, you won't have unlocked this technology yet. But I don't want to be creating this stuff manually. So I create these small factories to build the things I need to build more factories, if it makes sense. Okay. If you're an absolute beginner, You will start by producing these things manually. So if you press the F key on your keyboard, you'll open the replicator window, and this is how you can manually build things. Because when you start the game, I just show you visual representation what it means. When you start the game, this is what you have. Absolutely nothing. This is all you have. Just the plant resources. And for you to gather these resources, just right click on them and your Mac will start to grab them. Then you go press the F key, go to your replicator, select what you want to build, and then click the produce button. And that's how you start. This is how all of this, which I'll show you, all of this started like this. I had to grab all the materials and build this automatically. But for example, the belts, as you can see, the belts, we need a lot of belts because you don't want to have all your buildings crammed on top of each other. It's just your future self will thank you if you don't stack things or don't put buildings too close to each other. Here, for example, it's a good example of what you shouldn't really do. So I have all these buildings crammed together, where here they are more separated. And you can use whichever criteria you prefer to separate them. Here, for example, it's the circuits area. Here it's the belts and sorter area. Try to create a bit of separation. Again, your future self will thank you. So to recap, you need to build, the first milestone is that you need to build these blue cubes. For you to build these blue cubes, you need these two materials you see over here, circuits and magnetic coils, and you need a factory to produce this. So you don't have to do it manually. And then you can scale up production later, but not now. And then what you do with these blue cubes then? Well, then you can research stuff. As you can see here, the green rectangles means I already researched. The blue ones are the ones I can research, and the gray ones are blocked for whichever reason. Or I don't have a dependency, because for me to research this, I need to have researched this first. And if I want to research something, I just click on what I want to research and I click activate. How do you understand what you should research next? Well, if you know a bit about the game, you can try to read the description, but if you know nothing about the game, I think the easiest is find the next cube. So I already researched the red cube, and the red cube is down here. So you need to follow the path that will take you here. In this case, you need to research this stuff so you can get here, right? So which one is the next cube? The next cube after the red is the yellow. Where is the yellow cube? Could it be this one? It is. So for me to get here, I need to research this and this and this and this. And this is how I think it's easier for a beginner to figure out their way in this slightly complex tech tree. Okay, and then you find the next and the next. But believe me, the more you play this game, the easier this will look, because the learning curve is more scary than actually steep. And especially because there are already so many videos about this stuff, I mean beginner guides, that you'll find something that will suit your needs, you know. But anyway, I think that's it for today's episode. Oh, I want to give you some tips. Now, some tips before I wrap up this video. As you can see here, I like to keep my energy production on the left-hand side separated from my factory. And that's just visually, it helps me understand things. And this leads to my second tip, which is try to not make your factory too cluttered. Try to keep buildings more or less separated, although this is far from perfect, but keep them relatively separate so you can understand where you're building things. You'll use this planet view quite a lot, and it helps you to identify where things are or troubleshoot problems if you keep things neat and tidy. Try to avoid spaghetti as well. And this also leads me to the next thing, is that if you get something wrong, the next tip is don't be afraid to delete. Everything you delete goes back to your inventory, okay? So do not be afraid to delete. You're not going to lose anything, okay? And the last one, have fun. Do whatever it takes. I find as a beginner and someone that doesn't have too much time to play, that the best is to eventually take note. For example, if I save this game and I don't come back to it for weeks, I was like, what was I doing when I last played the game? And that's basically the hardest bit to play this game casually, is that if you don't play it regularly, you'll forget what you're doing, and then everything seems complicated. But it doesn't have to be. And I think the only thing that you need to bear in mind, if you can't play this game regularly and you still want to play it, so you can still have fun, just take a note maybe on your phone. There's a note app, all phones have. Just say, I was doing this. That's what I did. I have a few notes on my phone that says I was building a matrix lab. Oh, I was building a circuit board factory. And then, okay. And then just the fact that you remember that one thing, it will then get you back into the game quite quickly. And finally, just before we wrap this up, if you press the F11 key on your keyboard, the interface will disappear, and all you see is this beautiful, beautiful game. I found it by accident. I pressed the key by accident. But look how beautiful this game is. Jesus. Guys, it's worth going through this learning curve to play this game. Even if you're a casual gamer like me, you will still have a lot of fun with this game. Okay? I hope you found this video useful. And on the next video, I'll show you what it looks like when you have a red cube factory, which is the next milestone. I'll see you there. Bye bye.